kind of interesting. On my last video, I had an accident. I fell down a hill and caught myself with the tripod, but did damage to my left knee and my right elbow, shoulder. And I wanted to show you what happened. So I was standing right up there talking with somebody, and we were talking about people that her husband had fallen and broke his hip and wrecked his arm. And after she left, a gust of wind caught me and blew me into this gully like area right here. And it doesn't look steep on the camera, but that's almost straight down. And I fell against, my knee collapsed, and I fell against this hill and scraped up my knee badly, and then started falling this way on all these rocks down here. And I fortunately caught myself with the tripod. If I hadn't, I would have fallen all down onto these rocks and down this way. I think the lesson here is make sure that when you get into your 70s that you are very careful, especially when hiking in steep terrain, because you're not as not as flexible as you used to be, and it's harder for your mind to decide what to do when you're falling. It just seems like slow motion. So make sure that you take the easier route and respect your age, because you're not 19 your whole life. Let's go do a video. All right, today's the beginning of a very warm week. It's supposed to be 75 today, and continue on in the 70s for as long as the weeks last. We don't know for how long. No rain in the forecast. The rainy season in California seems to be over. How pollution is causing male fertility crisis. Sperm quality appears to be declining around the world. Male fertility contributes to approximately 1/2 of all cases of all infertility and affects 7% of the male population. Research suggests the problem is growing. Global trends in sperm count showed that the sperm count fell on average by 1.2% per year between 1973 and 2018. It fell from 104 to 49 million from the year 2000 on. The rate of decline accelerated to more than 2.6% per year during this time. So scientists are saying that that's one of the reasons that population around the world will start to decline, is because we can't make babies anymore. But isn't that usually the case when you have an animal that's overpopulating, that the sperm count gets lousy and they stop producing offspring? It's just part of population control by nature. So it will continue to decline as we go along. Hopefully it will cause human populations to decline fast enough to where we can save ourselves from ourselves. But here's another problem, another situation, another piece of news that's not good for our planet. A new logging plan on Yellowstone border shows limits of Biden's greenhouse gas policies. The U.S. Forest Service moved to clear-cut mature pines in Montana without a detailed accounting of the cost in carbon emissions. So when you cut down trees, you up the emissions of carbon, CO2. First, because you cut down the trees, eventually they will rot and all that carbon will be put back into the air. Second of all, carbon isn't being taken up in these areas anymore because they're clear cut and it's just dirt, shrubbery that's all bent and busted open from the beautiful Yellowstone area. It includes clear cutting 5,500 acres of mature lodgepole pine trees and constructing 57 miles of logging roads in the heart of grizzly bear country. The U.S. Forest Service decided to move forward with a 16,000-acre logging project on the border of Yellowstone without applying the new White House guidelines for greenhouse gases. So this project will continue on, and the whole 16,000 acres will eventually be clear-cut over years of time. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do. Apparently the project has already started and the road building has already started. You know, this is all because we don't pay attention to who we put in office. And a lot of the times, it's the best of the worst. We have the very worst, the Republican Party here in the U.S., and then we have the very second worst, the Democratic Party, who pretends to be progressive, but ends up being just like the Republicans when it goes to environmental causes and trying to reduce our CO2 count. Biden has just continued to just open up more and more oil drilling. Now they're starting the clear cut of our forests. The few forests that are left, they're going to go in and start clear cutting those, just exactly like Trump did when he was in office under the Republican Party. And probably the next the next president here in the U.S. will do after Biden is out of office. It's where the humans they really put themselves into a place of no return. They sort of want to be in a place of no return. Oh Lord, that was a bit fast. Seems kind of crazy out, even though it's a Sunday, Easter Sunday, and it seems to be somewhat quiet as far as humans are out. They seem to be out on the road, though, speeding around and causing a lot of trouble because it's supposed to be a warm day, warm spring day, and it makes everybody anxious and want to continue to drive like nuts. So one more thing is that I looked up El Nino, and I found out that everything is still okay with that. It hasn't really exploded like it was earlier. It seems to be sort of in a natural, neutral state at this time. But the scientists are saying it will come this summer, and we will become El Nino. That El Nino will persist, and it will probably be a big one this time. And we'll all probably suffer through some very hot times. So everybody should be getting ready for that. I don't know what you do to get ready for super heat waves around the planet. We'll hopefully have enough food and that sort of thing. I appreciate all the comments on this, your ups, new subscribers, though I haven't gotten any new subscribers that stuck for quite some time. They subscribe, but it doesn't show in the count, and then they get unsubscribed, I guess, from YouTube. But if you want to, go ahead and try and subscribe. And until next time.